Now we do this guy. So here's where we might start to run into trouble. First thing I'm going to do is see what's actually already down here and just put that in. So this was already down, so I just placed that. It's a way of just kind of cheating a little bit. Now I want to do orange and white. Do we have an orange and white one over here? We've got this. But does this belong down here? And the answer is no, because if I turn this, you can see that this is up here and not down here. So is there another orange and white? Well, yeah, there's this. So if I move this over to here, lined up with its proper center, if I move it down, you can see it's where it needs to be. Now here's the problem. I can't do algorithm number 1, and why is that? Because that's going to move all of these, put it down here, and kick all of these out. Therefore, I will have taken this out of the picture, which is not what I want to do. So what I need to do is I need to somehow get this down here and conserve what I did with layer 2. You can say I've got the second layer here. So now I'm going to use algorithm number 2. If I'm going to do that, this is going to be on the right side. So if I was using algorithm 1, this will go to the left because this will be in front of me. Algorithm 2, this must be on the right side. So it's going to come down to here. The other thing to bear in mind is when you're coming up to here, if I have 1, 2, 3 layers up, I must use these 2 layers. These both together are going to be my R's. So the higher up I go, the more I have to include. So basically, with this layer, it's going to be these 2. When I do this layer, it's going to be these. And you're going to find out why in a second. So line this up over here, and now if this is my R, I'm going to do the algorithm on the right side over here. So R, 2U, Ri, U, R, 2U, Ri. You can see this is lined up here with this. Then we do 2U, then R, UI, Ri. And you can see, there it is. So I didn't knock this out, and I've got this over here. White and red. Yeah, let's see. Where's white and red? Do we actually have a white and red up here? Now from time to time, you'll find that you don't. So just for ease, I'm just going to skip that for now. So never mind. Red and yellow. Red and yellow. So I've got this. This will comfortably go down to here. So this is going to be on the left side now as I do this. Same algorithm using these 2. Li, 2U, L. UI, Li, 2U, L. There it is here. 2U, Li, U, L. And now that's in. So far so good. So this is in, and this is in. Now that I have that, I'm going to do the same technique with this, only with this layer. So find everything that's possibly in this layer over here. Do I have any whites that I can use? And the answer is no, not as of yet. How about reds? I've got this. So you can see this red comes into here. So I'm going to put this red over to here. Move it down. Now bear in mind I'm dealing with this layer here. So take it out of the way and move it down. You can see it's not overlapping with this. It's next to it, but don't get confused. This was the first one we moved out, so it'll be the next one, it'll be the first one we moved back. So bring this down, and now we move this back. And now we move this one back over here. Turn this again. Move it back. Same algorithm or same technique. All right, I've got this one to come down to here. This comes down to here. I'm on the right side, RI, F, and it's this over here, L, FI, R, F, LI, FI, for those of you who prefer algorithms. All right, nothing else that I can use here, so I'm going to move on. How about orange? I got these 2. These 2 can nicely come into here, so I'm going to move 2 of them in. I see what layers I used, so I'm going to move this to the side, and I'm going to use this layer. Now notice, I'm not going to move it to this side because we're going to bump into a layer we've already used. So be cognizant of that. You must turn it to a layer you've not used, and then you can move it down from there. It's perfectly secure. It's not going to interact in a bad way. I just have to remember to turn it back, and it was these 2 layers. That was the first one that I used. So they both must come in together. turn this down, move this up, turn this in. All right, now what? How about this to here? Sure. Bring this in, bump it out of the way, put this down, turn this up. This was the first one that I bumped out, first one I put back in and up, and there you have it. So we keep going, this to here and this to here. So there's two I'm going to move in. 1, 2. Now I have to make sure that when I turn this out of the way, it's not going to bump into these layers, which it won't, so I'm perfectly safe. We take it back, move only the 2 layers that I moved out in first, and move this in over here. So now I'm going to speed up a little bit. This to come down here, turn, 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 turn. Once you get into rhythm, it's actually quite fun. Okay, so now that's good. All right, now I might have actually put some more whites in. So that's why I keep going round and round and round. So I find the layer by layer very fun solve, especially if you have a puzzle that moves very well. Let's see, any other whites? This one to here. Nope, that slot is already taken. So we move on. Any other reds? Well, yeah, this just opened up. As did this. So this will come here. And now I'm going to put this one over here. Now I have to make sure when I turn it, it doesn't bump into these layers. Here, no, because it bumps into this layer. Here, yes, but I got to be careful. I got to remember that this is the last layer. So I'm going to move it into here. Now I'm going to move this back, and I'm only going to move these 2 layers back over here. See, now we're getting a little complicated, but it's okay. I think you can do it and turn. Just pay very close attention to which layers you're using. Let's see. That's it for this, this. We got a bunch of whites here, a whole host of whites. Do we have anything that we could use? And sure, this one. Turn out of this layer here. Turn, 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 and turn. Okay, anything else? And no. Did I open up another red one? And I did not. Okay, so this means that what I'm looking for is this red to come over to here. To here. So you know the technique, move this up to here. So turn it up here. So now you got it here. Bump it out of the way in a different layer. Now turn it back. And you can see the 2 planes that we moved it in. Turn, and this turns back down. Okay, so now we're ready to move things in. This can come to here. See? Piece of cake. Turn, bring this back up, turn, bring this back up. So this is not the hard part as of yet. So this is in, this is in, this is in, and up. We got to do this one. Well, no problem. Nothing here, so we have to find. We know this is the 1, 2, 3, third layer here, 1, 2, 3. So this guy can come here. So I'm going to move this up to here, bump it out of the way, move it across. Then I use these here to guide me as to how to bring it back. There. So now I can find it, this to here, as you can see. Then turn, bring it down, up, back, back, and back. All right, did I happen to accidentally put in another white that I can use? And no. So what else can I use? Well, it's going to have to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 in these layers here. How about this guy? Nope, that one's not going to do it. Actually, might be one of these guys over here. 1, 2. Actually, I think this, yeah, this one over here. I can tell because this can come down to here. So we're going to move this one up, same mechanism. Down. cross, and down. Okay, now we just find what we did, find where we put it, this to here, down, turn, turn, and now bring it on back with this, this, and this. Okay, so we have the third layer. Take a bow. You're almost sort of halfway there. So what do we do with it here? Now, what's easy about these is you're going to find them over here. So here's what I would do. Look up here and see which one of these don't have your top color. This one does, this one doesn't, so this is going to come down to here. So now how am I going to do that? Well, it's going to be actually the same technique. For this to come down to here, like that, I'm going to do the same thing. I have to do algorithm number 2, so I'm going to hold it over here, and instead of these two, it's going to be these 3. Do the same thing, only these 3. As you can see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 in, so I must do 1, 2, 3 in to do that algorithm. So set it up, and Li to U, L. UI, L to U, rather Li to U, L. There it is over here. To U. Now Li, U, L. And there it is. So now same thing. This is not of the right color. So I'm going to put it here, and this is going to be the right-sided version. Again, all of these 3, once this is in, you can just do R, 2U, RI, U, R, 2U, RI, this is in, 2U, R, UI, RI, and this is in. So what else we got? Everything here is of the right color. So now this is wrong. So what I'm going to do is I just have to move this out. I'm going to put this in, which will bring this out, and then just go ahead and put it back in. So R to U, RI, U, R to U, RI, to U, R, UI, RI. Okay. So it's up here somewhere. In this case, it's here. So now we move it in this way. Li to U, L. UI, Li to U, L. To U, Li, U, L. All right, so that's there. What else we got? This one has to be turned around by the same mechanism. Now, this is in, this is in. Now notice I kind of do these algorithms slow because honestly I don't have them memorized. It just kind of makes sense as I'm doing it, and you'll kind of get that intuitive sense after a while too. Once you do that, same thing. Now this is going to be easier to visualize too because all of these centers that are across here are going to fit the center over here. So I've got a yellow one. This comes down here. So move this in where it's got to be. Turn it. As long as it doesn't coincide with this plane, we can move it down. We just have to remember what we move down first because that's what we have to move up. We have to remember how we turn this as well. Again, I encourage you not to memorize algorithms with this, but just start doing it until you get more of an intuitive feel. So we'll move on. Here's this one, an orange. Turn, turn, turn. And this can get very fast and very fun after a while. Find where it makes sense, which is here. Turn, 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 and turn. Okay. No more oranges over here, so we'll move on. Maybe we can pluck one from out here. 2 whites on either side. So I'm going to bring both of these down. Turn this like so. Bring it down like thus. Now remember, it was these 2 first, so that's going to come back in first, like this. Turn, and bring it back up, and turn. And now we're ready to put this one in. Turn, 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 back, up, you go, and turn. So now we have all the whites. We must have a boatload of reds ready. These 2 can come here. These 2 come here. Remember, I moved it out from this plane. So move it in a way where it's not going to intersect this. It could be here, or it could be here. It really doesn't matter. So turn here, turn, turn. Both of these come back up, as you can see. turn, this comes back up like so, and turn. Okay, now we have these two, same thing, move this here, turn, 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 turn. Sometimes I wonder if this way is even faster, the layer by layer is even faster than the reduction. Okay, this is in, we should have, well, this one isn't in yet, this one, this will come here. Oh. Okay, so we don't have that. What has to happen is what? Okay, in this situation, this has to come down to here, just like that. So we're going to move this up to here. We don't worry about any of these as long as we stick with our strategy. So this will come up here. Don't worry about all of this. It creates this plane. I'm about to take this out of these planes that I moved in. And now I use this as my guide if you want. Turn it back. This one is the first one to come back in. Turn this over here and down. And notice we did nothing to any of these, but we did place this guy up here. Just got to find it. Now this can come here. Turn, 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 turn. My suspicion is what I'm doing is no different from strategies that you use anyway. So this is fine, this is fine, this is fine, and up. We've got a problem here. This can come here, so we don't have to do any fancy footwork. Turn, and lo and behold, you have yourself your fourth layer. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, okay, so now we do the layers over here. We have to shift gears a little bit, change strategies a little bit. As long as everything was below the midline over here, we could do the strategies that we did, especially with these guys. Now with these, there's a little bit of a problem because with both of these, we could do that strategy where if it was the first layer here, we can just do the algorithm 1. The layer here, we can do algorithm 2, but we had to use these two. For this layer, we can do algorithm 2, but we had to use these two. Now, if you wanted to do this, so let's say we wanted to move these in. Let's first find one that we can easily place, kind of cheat a little bit. Let's see, right over here. So this belongs over here. But let's say we were looking for the one that's red and orange. That's going to be up here. Let's look for all the non-blues that are up here. So here's a white and orange. Let's move this into position. Okay, so white and orange. This does belong over here, as you can see, but how are we going to get it in? Well, if we wanted to do it by that other algorithm, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in, we'd have to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So dare I make this my R? And the answer is you don't, trust me, because if you try that, you'll put it in, but you're going to mess up a whole bunch of things here. It's not going to coordinate. So we can't use that strategy. We can't use algorithm 1 or algorithm 2. So what do? Well, in this case, what you need to do is you need to put this in the same way we did reduction of edges. So if you're doing a layer by layer method, you know what I mean by reducing the edges. We have to just basically put it in like that. So here's how you're going to want to do it. This has to find its way to here. So what you're going to do is take this and you're going to have to position it so that it's just across from where it has to be here. In this case, like that. Now we did put this out of alignment just for a second, but that's okay. What you're going to do is you're going to just bring it over here in this layer, and then you're going to replace it with this edge and bring it back. So bring it down like so. Just this layer. Then you're going to move this across to the side. Don't worry about this. Bring this side down like so, and now bring this in. Just like you did with reduction. And now be sure to bring this back like bang. Once you do that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to very quickly want to put back everything that you put out. So notice you took this green corner out from here. Just do an equivalent to RIDIRD. So move this up, bring this corner back in, and move this down. It'll reconstitute this. Then all you have to do is once again put this back down. And now this is in place. Now, do you want an algorithm to that? Well, all right. Let's see if I can oblige. But this is in. How about red? Don't look at this, but red and yellow. Well, actually, let's just look to see which ones we have that are non-blue. All of these are blue. so we can't use those. Oh, my fault. Let's see which ones are non-blue. So here's a red and yellow over here. So this guy is going to have to come over to here. So what I'm going to do is move it over to here. And now with this in this position, the one that you want to put in on the bottom, position this so that this is going to come into here. So just move this over to here. And now bring this down. You can call that an LI. You can do, call it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. But bring it down into position. Once you've done that, now we're going to move this over here. And we're going to do DI L D. And now be sure to move this back. Remember which layer you originally moved. If you forget, understand that these guys are going to coincide with this. So just move this back. Okay, as soon as you've done that, then you're going to reconstitute everything that you just did. So once again, do a DI LI D. That'll put that back in, and now just move this back over here. So there's your algorithm. Anyway, so this is good here, and now we want to do yellow and orange. You're more than likely going to find it up here somewhere, so it's going to be this guy. As you can see, this belongs over here. So too, move it to the bottom. Now this one actually, this is going to be the bottom over here. You have to coordinate it correctly so that this can come down to here. So move it to the side, and on this side here, move it down. And if you're holding the colored layer to the left, then just kind of visualize what's happening here too. D, R, I, D, I. And now simply move this back and get this back in by doing D, R, D, I. See how that, move that back there and bring it in. Again, I encourage you not to memorize the algorithm, just visualize. So this is in, this is in, this is in, and this is in. And now this is done exactly the same way. So what do we have left? I don't see any reds over here that I can use, because this is all the way at the end, because they're all here. So do we have any yellows that we can use? Nope, because they're mostly here. Oranges, we must have a plethora of oranges, a gaggle of oranges, these two. Do I have even more? Well, why don't we put these two in? Might be easier to do. So these both are here. Get it out of the way so it's not by this plane. So I'm going to turn it like this, and then move it down. Move it back, and just move these two layers up since they were the first one to be moved. Move this up like so, and bring this up over here. So now this is in. Now I can move these two in. This comes here, this comes here. Now where can this go where it doesn't intersect this? Here? No, it intersects. Here? Yeah. I just have to remember these two are the ones that I originally put in. So move this down. Now move this back up, this layer and this layer. Move this back down over here, and this one comes up like so. All right, we are cruising. Anything else? Yeah, this one. Turn this like so, down, down. Move these layers back, turn, turn, and turn. And turn. Okay, so we have our first area here. We've hopefully freed up a whole bunch of stuff, and we did. We've got these two whites, which will find a nice home down here. Turn it. Not going to work here. It'll intersect with this layer, so I have to turn it over here. Bring it down. Move this up. Bring these two layers up like so. Move this here. Bang, and zoom. Okay. This guy can find a nice home over here. Bring it down, turn, bring it down. Bring it up, turn, 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 and kersplat. Okay, no more whites up here because they're over here. So where are my reds? Still no reds. Maybe because they're here. No, they're not. They're here. Well, give me some yellows. All right, I've got 3 yellows that I can use over here to exchange with these 3 reds, actually. So down we go. These three are here. As long as I don't move it within this plane, I'm okay. Can't do it here. And I can't do it here. So what that means is I can't move all three of those in. I have to pick two. So these two. And now I can move it down with this plane. Bring this back, wheel this back, bring these two back up. My hope is that if this is confusing, the more I do this, the more it's going to dawn on you what the heck I'm doing. So if you missed it this time, just keep watching closely. Now this is going to come over here. Turn, creating this, turn that out, turn, and now we start bringing it back. Turn and turn. While I'm in the neighborhood, do I have another orange? I don't, but look at all these reds I freed up. These are all the reds I've been dreaming of. Turn it like so. Now I put a lot of planes here. Can I, and yes, I can move this down to here, like so. Now remember, these are the three that I first moved, so I'm going to take this back, move these three back in, turn and turn. All these reds. Do I have another one? Sure, this one. Move this into here, turn, 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 up, and up. Pow. Okay. Run out of reds. How about yellows? Yep, I got another one here that can come to here. Turn, turn. Bling, zoom, pow, splat, kerplunk. Ugh. Okay, what do we have left? We have almost everything except for this. This white will go very nicely here. Turn, 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 and up. All right, now I need a red. Which red? This one? Yeah, this one. So this has to find its way up here. So don't panic. We can exchange one for one. So this is going to come up here. Move it in. Move it in. Don't worry about any of this. As long as I take this, turn it, and use a plane that doesn't involve these. So I continue to go up. Now let's get this back before anybody gets hurt. So this comes down here, turn, and now this whole thing comes down here as well. See? No one got hurt. Now this is going to come down to here. Turn, 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 bang, zoom, splat, crunch. Okay, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 layers are done.